But it all comes down to really, as a player, you want to develop. You want to find the right team, the right coach, the right environment. And so there's a ton of factors that fall into that category as well. For me, after playing girls for a year, it did make sense to go back to boys because I had a great coach. There was a great team. We had a chance to go to nationals and play against these other good programs in the Southeast. And so it was a no-brainer for me. So that's kind of a big factor as well with the girls and the boys side, or just, one team over another, goes back to that, what are the opportunities? Do you have options? Who's the coaching staff? One of the girls in Raleigh, one of her coaches is Justin Williams and Shane Willis, former NHL player. So she's in a good spot to play boys AAA because she's not going to find a better coaching staff anywhere in the country. So it's a great situation for her as a Pee Wee major. And regardless of her size or things like that, she fits in, she contributes, and she's got a great coaching staff. The developmental philosophy, the practice to game ratio, again, that kind of stems from the coaching staff. But, what is the development plan? Are you playing, 80 games a year and practicing once or twice a week? Are you going to get a lot of practice reps, things like that? So I think as you're comparing different programs, whether you're girls trying to switch to boys or vice versa, it's a big factor of, what the program you're going to and what their plan is to develop their players. Same, are they starting to introduce off-ice training programs? Are they starting to, offer those abilities to expand your game and your development as an athlete and as a whole, not just a hockey player? And then, what are the coaches prioritizing? Are they prioritizing winning or development? And again, sometimes it's hard to say. Sometimes there's a great balance. Sometimes, you get coaches that squirt major that all they care about is winning, which is crazy, but it's the reality. And you have to take those into consideration as a player, that again, you're going to be in an environment where you feel challenged and you feel that you're contributing and you're having fun going to the rink. And also as a parent, these are all the things you need to be considering, for your player at any level, but especially, on the girls' side when you're trying to figure out kind of the next step in development. Because at the end of the day, on the girls' side, women's college hockey coaches are not going to go watch a boys' game to watch one girl. They're going to eventually get to a point where they're going to go to tournaments where there's girls' teams and they're watching the girls' teams and how they fit into the girls' game. And so at a certain point, it does make sense from a recruiting standpoint as well to switch over. So just a few more, things I like to highlight is, and this could go for any youth player, but not choosing a situation where you're just a passenger, especially maybe being the only girl on a boys team. Sure, that's great. You're playing against more speed, but you also want to make sure you're contributing. So you want to choose a situation and an environment where you feel challenged and you're making a positive impact on the team. No kid wants to be sitting on the bench. And especially if you're, girls on a boys team, does it make sense to switch to girls where, you're going to be on the power play, the penalty kill, things like that. You're getting a ton of puck touches. And again, a lot of that comes back to the coaching and the development plan and some of the options you have there. But, any player, you just want to, you want to make sure you're making a positive impact on the team. You're getting those reps, you're feeling challenged, and you want to feel like you're contributing to a team at any level. And then I think, especially again, that, if a girl is getting to the bantam age where, hitting's involved now and things like that, and they're not developing as much because whether they're worried about getting hit or, the size difference is just too much where they're not even really getting to develop as a player anymore, then it's really time to reevaluate the options. But, I think it's really kind of a case-by-case basis all the way through. But if if your player's ever in a situation where the development's just not quite there, or, they feel like getting to play and develop in the game as they want to isn't there anymore, then it's definitely time to think about what some other options may be. And for me personally, again, I'd done my first year bantam, and, the boy just started getting a little too big. I had aspirations to be in a competitive environment on the girls' side, and that's why I chose, boarding school as my option coming from Carolina. So again, that might not be the case now with different kinds of programs and things like that, but that was kind of the situation at the time.